What's going on, Subway surfers? We're back on the surface today, exploring some abandoned bus loops around Toronto. While we were able to count more than 160 bus loops that have existed in the Toronto area over the course of transit history, many have been demolished to make way for development, while others are still in use today. However, we were able to locate 7 bus loops that no longer see regular service, but still exist. Today, we'll be visiting these locations, exploring their history and what they look like today. I'm Zach with Vanish Underground. Let's get started. The first bus loop on our list is in Vaughan, near the intersection of Dufferin and Rocco. Service to the loop began in 1993, with the 105 Wilson Heights being extended from its former terminus at Glen Shields. At the time, the loop was the northern end of development for the area, save for some industrial buildings around Langstaff Road. The loop remained in service until 2000, when the route was extended further north and renamed from Wilson Heights to Dufferin North. Today, the loop is part of the Dufferin Public Works Yard for the City of Vaughan, but it's still publicly accessible. YRT's Route 105 services the stop at the nearby intersection of Dufferin and Rocco, following a similar route to the previous TTC bus. The next loop on our list is near the interchange of Highway 401 and 404 in North York, beside George S. Henry Academy. Service to the loop began in 1985, with the new Route 122 Graydon Hall running between the loop and York Mill Station. While the route was initially intended to extend further east under the Don Valley Parkway, issues with parked cars and narrow corners forced the plans to be cut back. Route 166, which serviced portions of Route 122, as well as Route 115 Silver Hills on weekday evenings and Saturdays, also terminated at the loop between 1991 and 1992, before it was discontinued. 2004 saw the 122 finally extend under the Don Valley Parkway, removing most service from the loop. However, to this day, limited school trips on the 25 Don Mills route leave the loop at the George S. Henry Academy Belltown, running north on Don Mills to Steeles. Next up is the oldest loop on our list, located at the northeast corner of Mount Pleasant and Eglinton. This loop began service in 1925 as the terminus for the St. Clair streetcar, and saw service relatively unchanged for over 50 years. In 1975, service along Mount Pleasant was changed from the St. Clair streetcar route to its own Mount Pleasant streetcar. However, this was short-lived, as streetcar service along Mount Pleasant was abandoned the following year. After a brief hiatus being serviced by diesel buses, trolley buses were put into operation along Mount Pleasant in 1977, following the former streetcar route to St. Clair Station. However, these were withdrawn in 1991, replaced by the diesel buses that we know today. With the loop being located in close proximity to the future Mount Pleasant Station on Line 5, service was removed from the loop in 2016 to improve reliability, being extended further north on Mount Pleasant. However, once construction is complete, we expect service to resume to the loop, providing convenient access to the future station. The Row Loop is located on Avenue Road, roughly halfway between Wilson and Lawrence. Service to the current loop began in 1954, with the introduction of the new 61 Northtown trolleybus route, which travels south on Avenue Road from the loop. Later that year, a new Route 1 began service to the loop, running north to Bombay near the current terminus of the Avenue Road North bus. The 61 Northtown bus was renamed to the 61 Northtown West in 1985 and revised to end at the current Eglinton station. In 1990, the introduction of express service along Avenue Road saw the cancellation of rush hour service on Route 1, with only midday service remaining. However, this was short-lived, with Route 1 and 61 being merged to form the present-day Avenue Road North route in 1992, with service to the loop continuing outside of weekday daytimes. Finally, in 2004, the remaining Route 61 service was extended to Bombay at all operating hours, removing all service from the loop. In 2019, and continuing to the beginning of 2020, Routes 124 and 162 were temporarily extended to the loop due to construction at Lawrence Station. However, this diversion was short-lived, with the loop once again being unused today. Another loop in North York, the Seneca College Loop, is located on Finch, just west of Highway 404, on the site of Seneca's Newnham campus. Originally opened in 1969 as the terminus for the 36 Finch bus, the loop also saw the 25 Don Mills bus extend to end at the loop in 1971. In 1974, a major reorganization in service in response to development saw the 25 service withdrawn, and the 36 service replaced with the new 39 Finch East bus. The 39 was extended east 1 year later. However, some trips continued to turn back at the loop. This continued in various time periods until 1989, when service was removed altogether. However, 3 years later, service was reintroduced, along with the new 39F Express variation. This service continued until 2016, when a major reorganization of service saw the 39 buses removed from the loop and extended east. Today, the loop is used by Seneca College's shuttle buses and no longer sees regular TTC service. Back in Vaughan, an off-street loop at Weston and Langstaff saw service begin in 1989, when the 96K branch of the Wilson bus was introduced, running to Wilson Station. The 96 was split 2 years later, resulting in the 96K being renamed to the 165B Weston. A second 165D branch began service to the loop in 1992, running outside of rush hours to York Mill Station, while the 165B continued during rush hours to Wilson. However, less than 4 months later, the 165 was extended further north, removing TTC service from the loop. Vaughan Transit Route 6 Ansley Grove also used the loop as a terminus until around 2003 or 2004, when it was discontinued. Today, the loop remains unused and unmaintained. Our final stop is the Woodbine Centre Loop, located in Etobicoke. Service to the loop began in 1985 with the opening of the mall, when the 37D branch of the Islington bus was extended. 2 weeks later, Mississauga Transit also revised their Route 12 to service the loop and introduced a new Route 30 which terminated at the mall. The 37D was extended past the loop in 1992 to its present terminus and renamed to the 37A. However, a Sunday-only branch named the 37D was introduced the following year, running from the mall along Rexdale Boulevard. TTC service was removed from the loop in 1999, but continued stopping on-street. Mississauga Transit also saw their 7 airport bus extend Sunday service to the loop in 2002. However, this was withdrawn later in the decade. Route 12 also moved on-street sometime in the decade. However, the timeline is unknown. Finally, the loop was abandoned in June 2019, with Route 30 being extended along Rexdale Boulevard, replacing Route 12. However, the shelter remains in place, although there are no plans for service to be reintroduced. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned about some new bus loops in Toronto. If you know any other abandoned bus loops in the Toronto area that still exist today, feel free to leave them in the comments and we'll check them out for part 2 of this video. As always, feel free to leave a like and a comment if you have any questions or want to see more. And as for us here, we'll be vanishing underground until the next one.